So I haven't done an update of the new greenhouse in a long feature yet, so I think it's about that time. So this, you guys ever seen the old structure and remember how it was? That's most of it right behind me that I've broken down from the inside out for this structure to work. So I use a lot better building concepts this time. It's not scabbed off of one concept to the next. It's not using kind of like farmer leveling. It actually uses math. It's kind of cool. All the glazing now is uniform. It's all 8mm twin wall. Everything's sealed. So this is the east wall now. Oh, I guess it always was, but the new one. And right now on this warm October 20th day, I got fence open on the back and this door open right now. But the old structure is completely torn out except for the catwalk. It's the only thing that really remains, and that 4x4 right there, this is kind of randomly placed. It's kind of a pain to get it out, so I'm just going to leave it there, maybe let a vine take it over. But the ceiling height, minus some of that glare, you can really get an idea how much more room, how much more circulation is now happening in here. There's a natural convection that happens, obviously, because of the pit. And so it's kind of crucial we get airflow down there, as well as getting that airflow up there. So that's some of the new functions that I need to consider. And that's already been considered for the most part, but I'd like to have a little more surround sound, if you will. So I have an exhaust vent out that's connected that way. And then right underneath it, which is actually padded up and bagged up for the winter, is another, it's just a box fan unit, but it's also accessible. And the thing that's not being revealed right now is that, unlike this installation here, this one's just free moving and I can take that out, and the idea is to remove it seasonally. So behind there is all screen, so that can just be open. In the top sections there too, I have two vents that are closed up right now, but those are opened for the season as well, to allow a lot of that heat out naturally through its dynamic effect. On this back wall, this east wall, or excuse me, west wall, I'm going to set the reverse now. That is all one giant vent that is tarped and insulated right now for the season as well. But that can also be open and exposed to allow better airflow in here. And that is definitely something that is going to be necessary in here. That's one thing I definitely learned, is stagnant air is home for scale and mealybugs. So making sure there's airflow happening in all your corners is really vital. But not the kind of airflow where, it's a draft. You can see some of these, I'm getting ready to plant over here. So this is an air layer from that guava that's in the pit. Those are my best performing cherimoyas, so I want to get them somewhere over here. As well as these avocados are going to get planted in the back because they're tall enough to receive sun beyond these intermediate bulk containers. And this is actually an avocado, and I kind of left it in. I've been very abusive to it, but its top section was not healthy, so I cut it back. So if it comes back and wants to, reclaim itself, it's got the potential. Other than that, I think we're going to put sapotes back here, specifically canistel fruit trees. We got about 4 of them, so we'll make a little grove, and I think we're going to put, probably right where I'm standing, somewhere around here, we're going to put a star fruit. So then that other star fruit in the front can get some better pollination. Might as well do a walk around. It's rare enough. But yeah, these are the bins that we've been using for a while. They're looking cute. They're just not functional because I've been busy with other stuff. I gotta watch my step here. This catwalk portion, all of it's starting to rot out horribly, so it's time for an update. Be careful. All right. We rarely get to see things on the side. You can really get a concept of how the shape took on before all this, so it's really not too bad. A lot more light penetration into the pit versus how the prior design allowed it or didn't allow it. Yeah, I need to water a little bit more over here. But yeah, now this is really essentially where the old one was, right where my feet are. So that is the old footer board for where the outside perimeter for the greenhouse was. So now we got about a foot and a half in the front, a foot on this side. So these trees have a little more ability, more circulation in the front. They're going to get a lot less disease happening for them now because of that ability to have that front airflow. Because when you're right up against the south here, you know, you're getting tons of heat. And that heat, you know, when these things are just like, you know, right up against that, it's just going to trap that heat. And there's also action that happens on most of your leaves too. And there's a microclimate that is going on in this leaf. And it will keep a localized pressure and a localized air trapped on that leaf, so it even has trouble breathing and creating circulation for its own airflow. So, you know, it just creating better macro focus for breathability, circulation, hydration, nutrition flow, you know, with building up fertilization on this top layer and allowing it to seep down into these layers. You know, all these improvements over time are really going to help, as well as the structural improvements. So I'm really excited. We'll walk around the other area too, since I only went this way. Just gotta be careful over here, I don't want to die. Alright. It's like that catwalk is bowing as I stand on it. That gets replaced sometime in the winter. I just don't have time to do it right now. I'm still kind of dealing with outside insulation issues. I have, so now this time, and the idea in the future, I want to get a zone, a heat pump zone there, and I'll probably have either another one on that side or somewhere's on that wall as well. So we can have one to 3 zone heat pumps in here, and that's going to help supplement. But the problem is, you know, this place isn't really well insulated, so those heat pumps are going to have a hard time working. And but it'll be supplemental because I also have a pellet stove, so both of them can kind of complement each other in a way where they will save me on resource. But I also, before winter comes, I have to put on a winter coat, and that's going to allow some of this heat to bounce back and stay inside the unit, and that's pretty important. The longans are getting big now. This is a 4-year-old longan. Pineapples from Creston from years ago are finally starting to get fruit. Some stuff's getting planted, hard planted. A bunch of jackfruits, seedlings, and then that's a starfruit seedling I gotta plant. But these jackfruits are probably gonna go right here somewhere. A few of them, not all of them. Things are starting to get planted out. Fertilizer's getting placed. And I kind of focus on this already, but this is, as far as my knowledge, I'm the only person this far north that has fruiting soursops. That's pretty exciting. It's not the only fruit there. There's another one, or I should say flower. They're not fruiting yet. I'm being optimistic. I really have to figure out how I capture the sperm of that one, because these are hermaphroditic flowers, so I have to pollinate them, I believe, by hand, unless the ants want to do it. Although I've been spending a lot of time getting rid of the ants, trying. everything upon this has really started getting greener, healthier, happier. So even the Monstera got some fruit on it. I might have shown this. We did the waterfall. I kind of shortened this so it's half the size it was up here, but you know, it's a little bit deeper, and I think it creates a better aesthetic. At least I'm inclined to believe it. I'd like to redo a lot more with the rocks, but you know, that might be a winter project because there's other things I got to do, like I said. So I got to plant these mimosa trees. I got 2 of them. I want one right here. Probably one over there where I was standing by the other corner there, explaining the layout. We'll go all the way down and then I'll probably call it goods. See how big this Majesty palm has gotten. It's a solid 8+ feet now. It's pretty nice. Yeah, so now we're in the pit. Tea kettle fell. Looking pretty good.